Looking ahead, one new Texas law will be in effect September 1st to oversee commercial breeding facilities that will help meet basic care standards for cats and dogs. East Texas News Weekend's Mariela Gonzalez has more.
And the more you breed, the more we have to put down every day.
Chelsea Fry of Nacogdoches says she isn't a fan of breeding facilities, and all 4 of her pets are rescues.
We have all these homeless dogs that don't have homes. They get dropped off at the animal shelter.
The Texas Licensed Breeders Program was established in 2011 to oversee dog and cat breeders to prevent breeding cruelty.
Once it's being enforced, you find out where the quicksand is.
Ann Anderson is the founder of St. Francis Animal Rescue in Nacogdoches and says the new House bill is intended to fix loopholes for previous legislations. House Bill 2238 will reduce the number of adult intact female dogs or cats that a person engaged in breeding is allowed to have before being required to have a license from 11 animals to 5.
That means that someone with 10 breeding females, for example, didn't have to be licensed or inspected.
And according to the Texas Humane Legislation Network, 10 female dogs can have 120 puppies a year.
And then what happens to those dogs, since they aren't perfect, they're generally disposed of by the breeders, either by putting them down or sometimes dumping them.
Mariela Gonzalez, East Texas News Weekend.
Breeding facilities have to have their licenses by January 1st.